Welcome back to another video, folks. This is the long-awaited, much anticipated, well, at least on my end, rescape of my 75-gallon puffer tank. So why don't you sit back, pull up a chair, relax, and let's get it on. Here at Patty's Aquatics. So this is the culmination of a 3-part series of videos that I shot. First one, go back and watch them if you haven't, is finding driftwood for my aquarium. That one was the first one where I went on the shores of Lake Michigan to go find this piece of driftwood that I want to rescape my tank with. And then 2, preparing driftwood for my aquarium. That was where I prepared it and got it ready to go into my aquarium. And then all to this one, rescaping my 75-gallon. I am so excited. I cannot wait. A little nervous, but cannot wait. This is the piece of wood that I got. So without further ado, let's go upstairs, take a look at the tank. Let's get our scape on. So this is the tank in its current state. Let's take a closer look at why I want to rescape it.
I think this clip speaks for itself, but algae, that's the reason behind me wanting to rescape this tank. Now, I don't mind algae in any of my tanks in my fish room, but up here, this is in my main living area that everyone sees, and I do not like the look of all that gross algae. Now, later in this video, I'll explain what I plan on doing to combat this, but this is the reason why I want to rescape it.
So you ready to get started? I know I am. So first thing I'm going to do is take the 3 pieces of wood out of here with the plants that are attached so I can open up the area better. Ready? Well, I got that done. Got all the wood out of there. Now it's a big cloudy mess as expected. Next step is going to be algae removal. What I'm going to do is scrape all the walls, get all the algae off, clean it off the heater there, clean off that pre-filter, and then I want to push back some of the sand along the edges of the glass and clean the algae down farther. And then I want to try to see how many rocks I can unbury that Puff Daddy buried over the year. And then check on the plants that are in here, these crypts, and see if those are salvageable. I know there was some black-bearded algae on a couple of them, so I'll have to take a closer look at that. So let's do that. All right, so that's done. For as well as I can see anyway, it's such a big cloudy mess in there. So what I'm gonna do is let it sit for a few minutes, and then we're gonna go down in the fish room and take a closer look at the driftwood I'm gonna put up here and see what we can do with it. Oh, this is the piece of wood. What I did, let me give you a closer look. What I did was I super glued rocks to it since it does float. So I'm hoping that added weight will keep it down and I don't have to worry about it. And then this is, if you haven't seen that last video, this is where I cut the piece of wood in half in order to be able to boil the entire piece. What I did is I put wooden dowels in and then also super glued it all so it's pretty sturdy now. What I want to do is take, let's see, some Java moss. I'm thinking, like, look at this big fluffy mess on this one. Take some of that and put it on here for sure to cover this. And I would like to maybe put some down here. I'm not 100% sure, so what I plan on doing is just putting a tiny bit of super glue on, just enough to kind of get it to stick in spots, and then probably leave it at that. So let's give that a try. All right, so I'm done. Put Java moss all along this piece of wood. Next up is to go upstairs and start sucking out the water out of that tank and bringing the water level down pretty far. Cleaning up all the detritus and grossness at the bottom of the tank, and then go from there. All right, water's drained. Now let's go get that piece of driftwood and see if we can fit it in here. So I got it in there. I think it looks pretty good. I put some of the hardscape in there with the rocks where I wanted them, took a few out. Now with the crypts, I'm not 100% sure yet. I like the way they look in there where they are right now. I know the problem is I had a few of them that had a little bit of black-bearded algae started on them. So I'll have to wait till this gets filled up and cleared out a little bit to get a closer look at what I want to keep in there and what I don't with those. But I want to put the rest of the plants in there now that I have. So I have some Dorch Sagittaria, I have some Valsinaria, and Pogostemon stellatus octopus. I plan on putting in here a few clippings as well. I want to put it along the back behind the piece of driftwood and try to keep the front open. So let's do that now. That's done. I got the plants in. I think I kind of like where they are. Only way to find out is fill it up with water. So let's do that. The water's filled up. I think it looks pretty nice. Now I know it's cloudy, so we'll take a look at it in a little while to get a closer look. But I wanted to explain a little bit why I chose to put some of these other plants in here and rescape it because of the algae. Now, the Anibius was the biggest problem for me in this tank. Such a slow grower. The algae likes to collect on the leaves so bad, where with the Valsinaria, the dwarf sage, and the octopus plant, it grows so fast that if I would have issues, I can just trim off the top. But I think it's going to be sucking so much nutrients out of the tank that it'll outcompete the algae. So that's my plan. So anyway, like I said, let's take a look at it in a little bit after the water clears up. I hope you like that tank. I know I do. I'm extremely happy with it. Now, if you don't know, that tank used to be a heavily planted community tank. And then when I got my Fahaka puffer, I knew I needed to take a lot of those plants out of there in order for him to have more swimming room once he got bigger like he is now. Now, by doing so, it created that major imbalance in that tank and caused all that algae. With the Anibius plants being such slow growers, the algae just collected on it, and there wasn't many other plants in there to help combat it. So by doing this, I'm hoping it helps in a few ways. One, I hope by putting the dwarf sage, the Valsinaria, and the Pogostemon stellatus octopus in there, that'll help fight off the algae because they're such fast growers that they'll suck more nutrients out. So that's my one and main hope. And then two, it's going to give me that heavily planted look again in that tank that I also missed. Now the question will be, will my Fahaka puffer Puff Daddy allow it to be so? Only time will tell on that one. He usually has a little pit that he hides in, and I just took it away from him. So we'll see how he wants to decorate the tank besides how I did it. So right now he's sulking and pouting in the corner, but he'll get over it. He always wants to come out and eat. He is a puffer. Anyway, I hope you liked this series of videos all the way from the beginning of going to Lake Michigan and collecting the driftwood to the preparing it and getting it ready to go in my tank, and then to the culmination of putting it in my tank and rescaping it. I found this whole process to be interesting and something that I enjoyed and always wanted to do. Now, you can go to a big box store or a local fish store and you can buy a piece of driftwood completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It can be a little pricey. Doing the sole this way didn't cost me anything. I got to get outside in nature, go look around and have fun and just get something to put in my tank from outside. So if it's something you've ever wanted to do, I suggest doing it. Just make sure you do your research, because you don't want to just grab anything out of the woods and throw it in your tank, and you don't want to risk losing your fish over it. So do your research. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. Please give it a like if you did. Please subscribe to my channel, and do not forget to hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss anything. Then as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time here at Patty's Aquatics.